The Galactic Council's verdict captain Elena Vasquez stood in chains before the Galactic Council, her chin raised defiantly despite her dire circumstances. The assembled alien judges whispered among themselves in their various languages, their multiple eyes and sensory organs focused on the human who had dared to challenge their authority. Elena Vasquez of Earth, announced High Arbiter Zexthal, his crystalline voice echoing through the vast chamber, you have been found guilty of inciting rebellion across 3 star systems and exposing classified council operations. Your actions have destabilized entire sectors. Elena smiled grimly. She had known this day would come when she chose to leak the Council's secret slave trade operations to the galactic media. The truth had needed to be told, regardless of the consequences. The sentence is exile to Korath Prime, continued the High Arbiter, his tentacles writhing with satisfaction. A Class 15 Deathworld where no sentient being has survived longer than 6 standard days. May the void have mercy on your soul. The other council members clicked, chirped, and hummed their approval. Korath Prime was their ultimate punishment, a planet so hostile that even their most advanced technology could barely maintain a temporary presence there. Arrival on Korath Prime, the exile ship, dropped Elena onto the barren surface of Korath Prime with nothing but basic survival gear and a communication device to record her final moments for the Council's records. As the ship disappeared into the crimson sky, Elena surveyed her new home. The landscape was a nightmare of jagged black rocks, bubbling acid pools, and twisted metal trees that seemed to move when she wasn't looking directly at them. The air itself shimmered with toxic particles, and the ground beneath her feet pulsed with an unnatural rhythm. Day 1 on Korath Prime, Elena spoke into her recorder, her voice steady despite the circumstances. Temperature is approximately 60 degrees Celsius, atmospheric pressure is crushing, and the local wildlife appears to be made of living metal and pure hatred. Weather forecast calls for acid rain with a chance of spontaneous combustion. She shouldered her pack and began walking toward what appeared to be a cave system in the distance. Every step was a challenge as the ground tried to grip her boots with tendrils of organic metal. Surviving the impossible 3 days into her exile, Elena had already accomplished what the Council deemed impossible. She was still alive. The caves had provided shelter from the acid storms, and her engineering background had proven invaluable in creating makeshift filtration systems from the wreckage of previous exile ships. The native creatures of Korath Prime were unlike anything in the galactic databases. Serpentine beings made of living mercury that could phase through solid matter, crystalline spiders that sang in harmonious frequencies, and hulking beasts that seemed to be constructed from the planet's own metallic landscape. But Elena noticed something the Council's scientists had missed: patterns in their behavior. The creatures weren't randomly aggressive, they were protecting something. They moved in coordinated groups, used tools, and demonstrated problem-solving abilities that suggested intelligence. Day 7, Elena recorded crouched behind a metallic boulder as a pack of chrome wolves prowled nearby. The locals aren't just animals. They're organized. They have culture, hierarchy, maybe even technology we don't recognize. The Council got it wrong. This isn't a death world. It's a civilization. First contact with natives Elena's breakthrough came when she witnessed a group of crystalline beings attempting to repair what appeared to be a damaged structure. One of them was trapped beneath fallen debris, and despite the danger, Elena rushed to help. Using her portable plasma cutter, she freed the trapped being, who turned out to be roughly humanoid but composed entirely of shifting geometric crystals. The creature's surface flickered with colors Elena had never seen before, and it produced a series of musical tones that seemed to express gratitude. "My name is Elena," she said slowly, pointing to herself. The being tilted its head, then touched its chest and produced a complex harmony that Elena decided to interpret as its name. She called it harmony in her mind. Harmony led Elena to its settlement, a marvel of crystalline architecture that defied conventional physics. The structures grew from the ground like living things, their surfaces pulsing with bioluminescent patterns that Elena gradually realized were a form of communication. Building alliances over the following weeks, Elena worked tirelessly to establish communication with the Korath natives. She discovered they called themselves the Resonance Collective, a species that communicated through harmonic frequencies and shared a collective consciousness that spanned their entire civilization. They had been watching the Council's exile drops for decades, puzzled by the strange beings who appeared briefly before dying. Elena was the first to survive long enough to make contact, and her act of selflessly helping Harmony had marked her as something unprecedented. An outsider who could be trusted. The Resonance Collective shared their knowledge of Korath Prime's true nature. The planet wasn't naturally hostile. It was a living entity that had been wounded by centuries of exploitation by various galactic powers. The apparent dangers were actually the planet's immune responses trying to protect itself from further harm. Elena realized that her engineering skills, combined with the collective's deep understanding of their world, could heal the damage and create something beautiful. The great threat Elena's peaceful integration with the Resonance Collective was interrupted by urgent harmonic warnings that flooded the settlement. The planet's core was destabilizing, apparently triggered by the Council's recent deep core mining operations on the far side of the planet, that if the core collapsed, it would create a chain reaction that would destroy not only Korath Prime, but potentially affect the gravitational stability of the entire star system. The Council had been secretly extracting rare minerals from the planet's heart, unknowingly dooming billions of lives across multiple worlds. They're killing their own star system for profit, Elena recorded, her voice filled with determination. But the collective has a plan. They've been preparing for this possibility for generations. They just needed someone with understanding of Council technology to help them implement it. Human leadership Elena found herself at the center of the most ambitious engineering project in galactic history. The Resonance Collective had developed a theoretical solution to stabilize the planet's core, but it required precise integration of their harmonic technology with advanced quantum mechanics that only someone with Elena's background could provide. Working around the clock, Elena designed a network of resonance amplifiers that would harmonize with the planet's natural frequency, essentially teaching it to heal itself. The project required the coordination of millions of collective members across the entire planet, all working in perfect harmony. As the project progressed, Elena realized that the collective had begun looking to her not just as a technical advisor, but as a leader. Her ability to bridge the gap between their harmonic communication and practical engineering had made her invaluable to their society. Transformation complete the day the planetary stabilization network activated, Korath Prime transformed. The acid rain stopped, the hostile landscape began to bloom with crystalline gardens, and the planet's immune responses calmed as it realized it was finally being healed rather than exploited. Elena stood in the heart of the great crystal city, now officially recognized as the collective's first individual leader, a concept they had never needed until they encountered the complexity of dealing with the greater galaxy. Council recording, day 127. Elena spoke into her communicator, looking out over the thriving civilization that had once been labeled a death world. I am no longer Elena Vasquez, exile. I am Elena Vasquez, speaker for the Resonance Collective of Korath Prime. And we have a message for the Galactic Council. The Council's shock-high Arbiter Zexthal nearly dropped his ceremonial staff when Elena's transmission reached the Council chambers. The woman they had condemned to certain death was not only alive, but apparently commanding an entire civilization. Greetings, Galactic Council. Elena's voice filled the chamber, calm and confident. I speak for the Resonance Collective, the true inhabitants of what you call Korath Prime. We are formally requesting recognition as a sovereign member of the galactic community. The council members sat in stunned silence as Elena continued. We're also filing charges against the council for illegal mining operations, environmental destruction, and genocide. Oh, and we're willing to share our planetary healing technology with worlds damaged by similar exploitation. Consider it a gesture of goodwill. New beginnings, the transformation of Korath Prime from a death world to a thriving civilization became the most celebrated story in galactic history. Elena's leadership had not only saved a planet, but had introduced revolutionary new technologies that could heal environmental damage across the galaxy. The Resonance Collective became a major galactic power, their harmonic technologies revolutionizing everything from medicine to space travel. Elena served as their ambassador to the organic species of the galaxy, helping to bridge the gap between harmonic and individual consciousness. The Galactic Council, faced with undeniable evidence of their crimes, was forced to undergo major reforms. The secret mining operations were shut down, and a new era of environmental protection was established. Elena Vasquez, once an exile condemned to die alone on a hostile world, had become the catalyst for the most significant political and environmental revolution in galactic history. She had proved that human ingenuity, compassion, and determination could overcome any obstacle, even exile to a planet designed to kill her. The death world of Korath Prime was now a garden world, and its human speaker had shown the galaxy that sometimes the greatest punishment could become the greatest opportunity for change.